Hey guys, here with Spark Agency, and we're trying a new list that has red herrings as the protection upgrade. This is a little bit scary. We do have 2 advertisements, which is pretty good, but if they run our hand... Oh, you know what, let's try this. This could be really, really good for us. Making fun of my introduction. It's so classic. I can't stop saying it now, it's like a catchphrase. Alright, and let's see what our pad opening can go with. We'll drain them to like $3. Oh, that's pretty good actually. Spark doing business. So let's have them go to 4. You can make them go to 3. Let's do that. Well, we'll wait and see if they run or if they do anything. There's probably no sure gamble in there anyway, so we're not like we're going to stop sure gamble that way. But I don't want her to like play like imp and then destroy this, and then it'll be kind of sad. I'll res both of them. I don't know what causes this. Sometimes this is the difficult thing about time windows and checking it out. Now you gotta kind of ask after every time whether you're gonna res something. I don't know if there's at any point to really resing now. She could have an imp on there, or she could use the ghost money to trash this. I'll just wait and see what happens. See a daily cast come out. So next turn we'll probably run the Sand. Yeah, try to get the Astro out without getting stolen. Maybe we like draw Sand credit, something like that. Draining her for 1, gets the imp. Yeah, so let's not bother resing this. So we're going to have imp problems here from the beginning, which makes this Sand play not going to fly by itself. Interesting. We do have a decent amount of ice in the deck, so we should draw one in the next couple of cards. See if we can keep this pad alive. It's actually pretty good. We can keep it the whole game. Ooh. Interesting. This might be not the best place for it, but if this fires, it's really good for us. We're gonna get our pad back. We'll get to look at the top 5, which could do a huge benefit for us. So I'm really hoping she'll think it's like hot window or special offer and just slam head on into it. There's not that many architects these days, so people don't, as a rule, respect the fact that the architect could be coming out. Come on, into this thing. Oh well, Hayleys are often too conservative to check anything. But if we put this here and the pad runs the entire game, then that's an okay outcome as well. Too bad. Astrolabe's coming out. We're gonna have to give up a couple servers. But at least now if this does die, we can put something else behind it. So I'm not crazy about this R&D run. Typically, like we've seen 9 cards, there's going to be close to 2 agendas in the HQ at that time. So it's better odds than on the R&D. And if you imp the top card of R&D, we still get to draw another one. If you imp the top card of HQ, we're down a card. So I think HQ is better here with the imp out. Yeah. So like there's a couple factors with running the hand. One is just the density can be higher depending on the number of cards. The other is that like you're denying the corporation things they want. Either stealing their points so they can't score them, or, you know, in the case of the imp, going nuts and trashing any of these cards, like the Sansan or the Enigma would be sad to get imped. Didn't feel like the last click run, I suppose. I think it's pretty safe against Spark. Like, what are they gonna really do? So no breakers yet. Could change pretty rapidly, but we're so flooded right now. I think we're just gonna spam in the remote. Yeah, we'll play to HQ. The food's in here. We could play the Sansan into the remote as well, but then you're putting all the eggs in one basket. And I don't think we want to res this right now with how expensive it is. I would rather see an extra money card before I res this into the imp. Normally having them on 0 credits makes the Sansan really good, but less so when the imp is rampaging. All right, so we got a free turn to just score the Astro route. Not a terrible start, but this RDS coming in pretty soon. So anybody's pretty safe against 0 credits right now, except for the 6 on Ghost Runners, so it's almost a matter of will she spend a lot of Ghost Runner credits to take an AVD when she might need them later on to boost her breakers. She probably would spend them because there's not that many huge ice in here. I guess Toll Booth is 1 stealth. Little Engine would be, what, 2 stealth? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Spark isn't that common. I mean, there's some that are quite different than others. Like if you got the Caesar balance in there, or maybe you have some other gimmicks. I haven't had much luck with those. I think staying close to the fast row plan is good, and it's also fine to play kind of like an HB and play Caprice or Ash to protect your server that way. But it's in the middle ground where you want to make some more servers because you have like these pads that are econ assets, but you don't want to make too many servers because you don't get a card draw like any age for them. So it's kind of in a strange positioning. Product placement, yes. Now does she imp it or she let me draw it? Ding. Love the art in this card. Like, I'm not sure if it's a character in the university or in the Android universe. Is it Miranda Rhapsody? Not really sure, but it looks sweet. Yeah, as much as it sucks to spend your imp token, I think there's really no choice. So we can push the NAPD now, and she might not have the money to go in. Now down to 3 stealth. She could have burned 2 stealth in the product placement. I think that's much worse than the imp token. You want to have some stealth in reserve, and you want to be able to pawn this one, for example. All right, 0 credits. Let's go. NAPD. That product placement is such a nice swing for us. Free money she has to pay. And you can put back with Jackson. Pretty high with that. Less good against Wizard for sure when he has the recurring credits to trash it. But even then, like, there's a good chance he's going to see like a Jackson and a product placement, so he'll have to pay real money for one of them. I'm hoping we'll draw the red herrings and can try to see what it does this game. I mean, it would have made this food quite safe, I think. Because I don't think there's any way she could have gone through like the data pike twice after trashing red herrings, etc. I guess she can imp the agenda even through red herrings, which kind of sucks. So there's a lot of limitations to that card. But I'm kind of thinking with political operative, it might get everywhere, and then we're going to have trouble with Ash and Caprice, because they will get countered by political operative. But the red herring says its effect takes place even during the run where it gets trashed. So if they make a run and then you res it, even if they political operative to trash it, then it doesn't matter. You're still going to get the $5 extra effect. Oh no, our Astro. We could have played this wraparound here. I don't know if it would have scared her off. The fact is she can break it very easily. I don't know, maybe it would have been better to bluff here. We could have like put the Sanson in the remote and put the wrap around here as a bluff. But it's kind of somewhat random. Like, she could have hit more product placements in there, or a lot of things she can't trash, like launch campaign or pad campaign or etc. But I'm going to think if I draw a different ice, I might put that down in R&D and not score this in her turn. She's still on 0. Pop up. There's a good ice. That definitely has to go in the R&D. I'll keep her out for a turn at least, and then we can get the NAPD out pretty safely. And we'll try to draw our another Sansan, or we can try to push the food. Like, if the food goes out, we win the game after this. So that's kind of appealing, to score 3 to win. If we put the Sansan and this both in, we can res the Sansan, do 3 advances, use the token to win from never advance. So there is some bluff threat there, where she has to kind of think, well, what could be in this server when there's any 2 advanced cards? Or any 2 installed cards, rather, not even advanced. I think it is very possible to score this food. Yeah, to my knowledge, there's no advanceable cards that are advertisements. This booth is definitely the best dice to see in Shaper. I mean, it's $8 is a little pricey, but they're gonna have to actually pay. Against Refractory, you're charging $4 and a Stealth, which is more than anything else you have in the deck is gonna do. Here's the Aesops. That's very nice for her to see now. Be able to pawn the Imp. Maybe pawn the Inti depending if she sees any wraparound. If she does pawn the Inti, we might have a chance with this wraparound to sneak on the server and then force her to fetch the lady. We draw Astro? We don't. Is she gonna be able to kill our Sandset? We just play the Sandset on top of this. I think that's too expensive. Thought about getting the Sandset res now, but I think it brings us our bank too low to protect our R&D. We want to keep all our money here so we can play this hedge fund and still res the toll booth. So if we res this, we'll be at 12, down to 4. We can still credit hedge fund. Be happy about things. We'll get the credit from the pad presumably. So rushed out 4 points. Decent place to be against Shaper, but as always, the hard part is closing it out once their setup has come online. So it's probably about an average start. The early Imp definitely helped her, because otherwise we would have had 2 pads running and just been covered in cash. So she's gonna dump 2 dailies. Next turn she's gonna be back at 2, 4, maybe $7. So there's not really a window here. Somewhat annoying for the runner to deal with Archangel. It's actually 2 stealth. Let's see if we can tempt her into this server, or if this is better in the R&D. I think she probably would not run this server right now in her current condition. Maybe we'll set up and we could even put like 3 of these cards together. If she pawns the Inti, we can play like Food, Samson, and Wraparound. Or we can play like the Product. Really seeing a red herrings would be nice. I'm going to bring the list up to show you guys and to think about what outs are good for us right now. We've got an Ash that's very good. 2 red herrings is also very good. Launch campaign is a decent bluff. CVS could be good. Actually, I don't think this list has Clot for her because of the Imp. Usually if you see 3 influence going on the Imp, there's probably not a Clot. If you want to also have like Legwork and Peddler and stuff. So this is a good turn for us. We've managed to avoid giving her any more Astrolabe draws. So just having to click the draw for a slow turn. Pretty happy to see that. Because if we top deck Astro, we still get to score it. And then we're only 15 minutes away from winning. Just to figure out if she can double install here. Or she can wait and then next turn she can let the cloak come off and install the program along with it. Or she can money up now and then on our turn she can pay 1 to bring the cloak off and use the Hayley on our turn and then get it fresh on her turn again. So there's a lot of discussion, or a lot of decision points in Hayley. A lot of timing stuff you can do. It's not an Astro, but this is actually pretty annoying on this remote. Let's see if we can get her into this remote. Double Arcangel, that's a lot of stealth to go through. We can ding her now. Let's wait. I want her to think there might be some kind of like like Sansa and agenda situation coming in here, and maybe go try to buy it. So let's think about our next turn. If we just slam the food and don't advance it, we can win if she doesn't come take it. In terms of the longer game, our toll with an R&D is holding up pretty well. Oh, it's definitely decent on the remote. It's kind of just whatever, whenever you draw it. If you can get Shavers to run through this repeatedly. Like Toll with wherever the Ash is a good place to combine them on the same server. Though really against Refractor, this is pretty taxing too. If we get the bounce, we'll be able to just bounce the Refractor. And then, if the ability's already used, there's no way she can break the data pike. So, oh, I guess you could make Atman. So there's some ways she can do stuff. I mean, even Atman 6 could come out if she gets enough money. Yeah, that's fair. Losing $3 to a toll booth is a pretty big hit against Spark, where you're going to bleed more credits elsewhere. So probably safe to just not run. Actually, you can probably wait until the second RDI is online. I mean, the Refractor has to be there somewhere, and there's SMCs, etc. She's going to have a lot more money once these wear out, because she can pawn one of them next turn. You know, there's $7 coming in next turn between these three cards. She has a much better place to run next turn than now. Actually, she still has her cash money, which she's holding on the... Okay, she's holding it here, so we can't drain it with the Spark ability. That's a neat idea. You can go a foul if you hit a CVS randomly, you're out $3. But typically I'd say that is a good strategy. Even more money coming out. Dang. Do we draw for one of our protection upgrades? Maybe we draw. Do we try to just like straight out win here? Is she gonna feel frisky about hitting this remote next turn? Give her an astrolabe draw if we res this. Seems bad. You know what? We can... If we have to actually res all of this stuff, we're gonna be too poor. Go for the fake out. Yeah, I think we'll go for the server 3 fake out and see if she runs it. Like maybe after she breaks all this stuff, should we pour enough that she can't really go again? I don't know. Maybe being bold is better though. It's hard to gauge the long-term success percentage for us, because we really have two ways to go. One is to jam this food through, possibly with the help of the Ash or the Red Herrings. The plan B is to score another Astro and then score the 15 minutes. But we are not currently playing Fast Track, which pains me to not play Fast Track. I think Fast Track's really, really good. I'd want to cut something for it. but not a lot of deck slots. So, got some more pawn fodder. Probably neither of these will get used. Maybe she can't find refractor. Like, maybe it's just not there. So, in fact, she did not bite on this. I thought she might have. Maybe she's not thinking of this line with the food. Maybe she thinks we're on, like... Because a 3-point beal does not work in that case because it doesn't work with the sand. Okay, so what we'll do now is get our money back. And screw it, let's shove this. This is going to work. We have the money now to pull it off. Do we want to ice anything else? If we res all of these, we're at 12, putting us to 4, 5. No, we'll just take money here. So we can res 2 of these and still make our score. Or we can res all 3 if that keeps her out and wait a little bit. I feel like she might just not have it. The refractor might just not come out. Well, the Atman starts to become a threat if she gets a clone ship on the board. We tended to pawn the film critic here. I know it's a bit less efficient, but we'd have more money now, which might be what she needs. It's so hard to make this run from the runner perspective. Like, when you know there's like launch campaigns and there's CVS and there's Jackson's and there's like a ton of random stuff. It's a tough call to say I'm gonna run a random 3-ice server with product placement in it. And who knows what else another product placement could be there. I think this game is about psychology to some extent. Trying to figure out their willingness to actually make the call. I don't think there is an automation for that. I think it just has to be done like that. Okay, well, giving up 2 accesses is going to hamper our remote play. If we go to 11 here, we'll be able to res 2 of these 3. And she'll be on $9. I really am not sure about that. 11 lets us still score out. Yeah, I think we need to res this. We could, like, things could go south on this R&D. There's a lot of agendas left in there. We know where 4 of them are, and there's still 6 in the deck, so, like, I don't want to hit, like, triple RDI and have, like, all our points go away. If this brought us below our scoring threshold, I think I would maybe not res this and just hope. But if you don't res, there's some question. If you don't res on 19 credits, then that makes the remote seem more like an agenda. All right, so the refractor is there. So this won't keep her from getting in, but it will keep her from running repeatedly in the case she pulls an agenda or trashes something and wants to go again. I guess she can go again a second time for what, $5. Yeesh, this is a strong attack. She's gonna have money for the second RDI to come out. And our CVS is in her hand. I thought about putting in an R&D, but then I think she would have spooked and probably taken the money off. And it's definitely not worth it for us to pay 3 for her to lose 6. We need all the credits we can get our hands on. So she has enough stealth to get through, to break this one, and then here she can pay the trace. So this server's a bit of a bluff at this point, because we can't keep her out. We're really just gambling. Yeah, the wording is a bit tricky. You pay to get rid of the counters, and then the card comes in for free, technically. So technically it's correct, but the wording's a bit wonky. So now we'll see if I was overcautious on this R&D, or whether I was rightly cautious to prevent the follow-up run. Yeah, the timing window sometimes is sometimes confusing when you do and don't have it. You have one like after you decide you're gonna commit, but you don't in between the accesses. So you can't see the first card and then decide I want my cash money and take it off. Oh, goodbye, Sweet Jackson. Oh, goodbye, Ash, too. And actually, this is probably the best case scenario for us. Her spending 6 is going to limit her ability to actually get in the server. I think now she can't get in, because it's 1 real credit here. And then she has to pay the trace here, which she can't really do. So this is perfect. These guys did their job. Having a trash cost of 3. Good job, guys. Excellent. She suspects nothing. Global Food Initiative. Oh, baby. Snuck that one through. So yeah, I think it's really a psychological thing. Trying to judge the willingness to go into that server. How was our R&D holding out? Okay, so there were a few coming up decently soon. A lot of trashables in there, launch campaigns, etc. Red Herrings didn't show up. We'll try it again, see if it would have helped at any point. I think it would have made me feel a bit safer, but she actually had a lot of money because our launches didn't show. We didn't get many pop-ups, etc. So I'm not sure in the end if it would have been actually that good. Yeah, after... I still think that if she would take this and spend a lot of money, spend most of her remaining stealth, we might be in an okay position to continue. If we can wiggle out of the R&D lock, because we can throw a lot of random stuff in that remote, like the launch campaigns. But yeah, this is the sort of thing where fast track starts to be useful. All right, thanks for watching, guys.